And we are back after a bit of a hiatus. Apologies for that. Basketball is back, and we are now back. Main difference you might see is instead of Graham today, he is abroad actually right now in Spain, so he cannot join us. We have Alex LeBeau and Jake Barthel, two of my boys from school who know ball, who are LeBron Glazers, and they are ready to talk some ball. We're going to talk about the predictions going into the Eastern Conference and Western Conference season this year for our 1 through 10 seeds, and then we're going to also talk a little bit about some expansion cities that the NBA could look to go into. We'll talk about all that and more in another episode of. Let's pull up Eastern Conference, Western Conference. We'll do Eastern and Western Conference first.
Start with the East. I
East,
feel
yeah.
like
All
I feel
right.
like at the top there's a lot
All
to
right.
talk about, which is
Perfect. Let's go.
obviously going to be
Right,
affected by Dame trade.
for sure. All right, let's start with that. Who do you guys have at 1, and then who do you guys have at 2? I'm assuming you have the same teams, maybe different order.
I have the Celtics one. I got Bucks two.
I have
I
You guys agree?
I
I
have
have
You
Bucks
don't
Celtics.
1.
agree, right?
All right, I
I have
have Bucks
Celtics
1,
one.
Celtics 2. The only reason is because Porzingis always gets hurt and they got no front court right now. If Luke Cornett is your backup center and that's the best thing you got, you're going to run into issues, especially when you have to play teams like Embiid, Giannis, honestly, even Vooch. Like Vooch should eat against the Celtics, but that
I
won't
uh
stop them that bad.
I think honestly, not from Jason Tatum's my favorite player in the NBA, but I also think he's strong front runner for MVP this year. I think he'll be up there. And I think with Drew Holiday bringing more defense to that team, if their bench isn't that deep, I think it'll be close, but I think the Celtics will pull ahead towards the end of the season a little bit.
I see
I mean, I
that.
think the biggest thing is having Drew and Jaylen Brown that can guard perimeter, the two best perimeter players on the other team, gives Jason Tatum so much leverage, just own be strong on the offensive end. I feel like the Drew Holiday trade was actually genius for them. Gives
for
them another
sure.
defender, puts in a third star backcourt guy. I mean, I think personally they match up pretty well with the Bucks. Drew, perfect point of attack defender.
For
He's
Dame,
gonna have
I see
Dame
that. I
in
see
all
that.
sorts of hell. I mean, that's a legacy matchup for Dame. If he can't shit on Drew Holiday in the playoffs, like who's Dame?
Yeah, we did see. I mean, was it 2016, maybe 2017? Dame got shut down by Drew when the Pelicans played the Blazers, and they got swept as a 3 seed. So
Yep.
that was bad. But
I mean, did you see the podcast of Dame talking about how like Drew Holiday is one of the like probably the best defender he's ever faced?
yeah, no, and I mean,
I
let's
saw that.
Drew Holiday is probably the best point of attack on ball defender in the league right now. I mean, top 3 for sure.
But I'm not going to discredit what the Bucks did all because I mean, regardless of how they match up, we're talking like small intricacies here. I mean, they're pretty even. They're gonna have people who can score the ball on all ends, but they are gonna be so tough. I mean, Chris Middleton 3 years ago could have been the guy to get the shot at the end of the game. I mean, you saw in the finals a lot
He's
of
got to stay healthy though.
yeah, he
Yeah,
does have to stay healthy, but he doesn't have to carry as much of a load. But you saw when he could score at the end of the game in that final series. I don't know this version of Chris Middleton could do that anymore, and we're still yet to see if Giannis can be the go-to guy at the end of the game. I think having Dame on your team right now, allowing him to write isolation, pick and roll at the end of the game, and just through the whole offense, I feel like is so
what
good for them. It gives a small market team like Milwaukee another chance and another push to keep Giannis, extend him, and be a title contender, which is honestly crazy for a city like Milwaukee to do.
100%. I think the 1 and 2 seed are going to come down to who stays healthier. Both these teams are the clear best teams in the Eastern Conference. Whichever one's healthier is probably going to be the 1 seed, and the other team will be the 2 seed. Let's move on to the 3rd seed. I'll let Jake go first, and then we'll loop back around.
Uh I'll do my third and fourth. I have the 76ers in the third, then the Heat in the fourth.
Yeah.
I think I'm not a big I honestly hate Joel Embiid, but I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder. Everyone's saying that he got like a Mickey Mouse MVP.
Yeah.
So I think they'll still be good. I think Harden's still going to produce the way he has been. And then the Heat I have at 4. I think Jimmy's going to keep producing. Tyler Hero, I think he might even take a step up from last year. He's a great shooter. Obviously they lost some pieces, but I think they'll still be up there in the runnings when you have Jimmy on that team.
Yeah.
I got that a little bit different. I've got the Cavs at 3 and then the Nets at 4.
Really?
I think
Wow.
I think I'll start off with
4.
yeah, I like it. All right, I'll give you some reasoning behind it though.
Yeah, of course.
I think 76ers, the whole Harden thing, I mean, he's just acting a fool. I think Harden's washed beyond it. I don't think he really cares anymore. I could see him being out for so many games this season. And I think with just how much better the Eastern Conference got, I think Embiid's also a worry to get hurt some point throughout the season. If you don't have Harden 100% the whole season and Embiid struggles with injuries or can't carry the load like he did last season, I think they struggle and I think barely make the playoffs. It's completely do or die for them. I mean, you get past this point, if they lose again, Embiid probably starts thinking this is the place to be. Harden's probably out whenever he gets offered more money somewhere else. I think they're going to struggle. And then I think the Cavs, I think a little bit fluky in the playoffs last season, obviously kind of got worked by the Knicks, but they have the pieces in place. If Evan Mobley takes that jump to be one of the best front court defenders and rim protectors in the league, he's going to take a big step. Garland and Donovan Mitchell will give you 26 plus a night. I think they added Strus, right?
They added Strus, they added Georges Niang, they added shooting. The only thing they're really missing is a 3 that can defend. But I see what you mean. Regular season wise, they're a good regular season team for sure.
Yeah. And then I think Nets. I think Mikal Bridges takes that step. He looked really good for the USA team. And
I think that's a crazy take.
I mean, fair enough. I mean, the Nets could, but I think that's kind of crazy.
I mean, they're playing with all role players.
And even I think the problem with putting the Nets that high is Mikal Bridges has had half a season where he has been the number one guy. Things like that change. I don't know if you guys have heard Paul George talk about it, but when you become a number one option, you actually are being scouted as number one option. Mikal Bridges was never scouted as that last year until maybe the end. He's a third option. This year he has a full season. He's going to get the best defender every night for the whole game. And then when that defender's out of the game, he's going to get the next best defender. So if Mikal Bridges makes the next step with that, then I agree. They could easily be a 4 seed because if Ben Simmons is good this year and Nick Claxton takes a step, 100%. But
Ben Simmons is healthy. Nick Claxton is pretty underrated. I think he takes another step. But Mikal Bridges also has the skill set to be able to get his points regardless of what. Like, regardless of if he's going to be followed around by the best defender, he's one of the best off-ball players in the league. Passed the ball pretty well last year when he was that number one option. I think running your offense through him, I think he takes a big step. That's just a bold prediction, but
I mean, fair enough.
Come back to this at the end of the fucking season.
I think Nick.
Huh?
Yeah, you go.
No, I'll go mine. Then you can talk about Nick Claxton because we're gonna get to him in a second. But I like Philly at 4. I have Cleveland at 3 too. I think Cleveland's a good regular season team as well. The only reason I don't have Philly at 3 is because I don't know what happened with James Harden. I don't know if he wants to play. I don't know if he's gonna be traded right away. And honestly, I think this may be Embiid's last season there if they can't get out of the second. They may not even get out of the first round this year, to be honest. So but again, the Sixers, Joel Embiid is a good regular season player. So is James Harden. If you expect them to play, Tyrese Maxey's there also. I still see him as a 4 seed. But as we go 5 and 6, I'll start off with 5 and 6. I'm assuming, Jake, this is where you have the Nets or around this area. I have Heat 6, Knicks 5 again. Knicks added DiVincenzo. The Knicks were still good last year. Jalen Brunson's only going to get better. Julius Randle is great in the regular season. He's ass in the playoffs, but he's going to be fine in the regular season. And the East, to be honest, is just a bunch of really solid teams figuring out, and I think they'll be the most solid of those solid teams. And then I have the Heat at 6 because I don't trust Jimmy Butler in the regular season. He does not start trying to the playoffs. And they lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus, who were 2 starters on an NBA Finals team. And you didn't replace them because you thought you were going to get Dame, and now you're stuck with nothing.
Yeah.
The Heat so hard.
Yeah. I have the Cavs at 5 and then the Knicks at 6. I'm not a big believer in the Knicks. I don't think Julius Randle is that good. I think he just gets a lot of volume and he puts up a lot of shots. He plays well, but I think 6 is good for them. 5 for the Cavs. They have the pieces. If Mobley takes that next step, they could be higher. I could see him as a 3 or 4, but it's all really dependent on their defense. Darius Garland's a good defender on the perimeter. And if Donovan Mitchell can produce like he did last year, they could be a really competitive team.
I think Mobley taking a step could make him a finals contender if he's like that good.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody touches Bucks Celtics basically locked for Eastern Conference Finals though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Right now, I mean, going into the season, 100%. But if Evan Mobley is 20-10 and Donovan Mitchell is still 29-5 and Darius Garland's 23-8, I mean that is a scary team to go against.
Yeah. All right. At 5, I have the Knicks. I'm not a huge believer in them, but I think with the role players, Josh Hart's quickly,
They're built for the regular
fucking
season for sure.
Jalen Brunson, like
100%.
they'll do fine, but they'll get to the playoffs again, and Julius Randle will have no idea what to do with the spacing and people actually trying that hard on defense, and they will proceed to lose again, and then hopefully fucking fire Tom Thibodeau. But yeah, I got Brooklyn or I got the Knicks at 5, and then I got the Heat at 6. I think they'll still do well. Bam will continue. Bam and Jimmy will get their own, but they completely fumbled this offseason. You had a chance to put a star on your team and be
Another chance
finals
to put a star. They got a chance to get Dame, and then you don't get Dame, so you can't go get Drew either. And they lose out on both guys who both go to Eastern Conference teams that are now like much better. Much
exactly.
better.
And they're the biggest, or they're probably for a player, probably the most attractive place would be to play in Miami.
Right.
They had that over Milwaukee. I mean, Boston's always an interesting city to go play in, but I think if they played their cards right, they could have gotten a star and been up there with the Bucks and the Celtics as genuine contenders for the finals.
Yeah, they'll never ever get rid of Pat Riley, but Pat Riley has now fumbled Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Damian Lillard in the past year and a half alone because he's too stubborn or whatever you want to say. But he's fumbled some big moves that probably would have gotten Miami a championship. 7-8. Who, LeBeau, you want to start off 7-8?
Yeah, I got the 76ers at 7. I mean, I kind of said before, but I don't believe in them at all. I think this is a season that they fall apart and
you think they blow it up
other
at the
teams.
deadline? You think they blow it up?
I don't know. I don't know the specifics of how hard it is to move Embiid or how realistic he goes, but I don't know. I don't think
I just don't see how you can put the 76ers at 7 if Joel Embiid is going to be playing on that team. Like, there's no way they're going to lose more games than the Knicks.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid on the team.
Use the Nets at 4 and the 76ers at 7.
Now, if you expect,
I don't know. You guys don't know what a bad culture can do to a franchise.
Blowing it up, if you're
that
anticipating
locker room's gonna be fucking toxic. I'm convinced of it.
I mean, it's Joel Embiid. If you're anticipating them to trade him or trade Harden and Maxey, then maybe. But I mean, I cannot see them being worse than the Knicks.
I do find it hilarious that Harden went in there and tried to do the Jimmy thing with when Jimmy's on Timberwolves, saying like I'll play with the bench and we'll play against the starters, and then they lost 21-3. Like then he just left. Like that's classic.
Yeah, he went home and got pissed off again.
Yeah,
I hate you.
So I have the Nets at 7 and then the Raptors at 8.
It's wild. No way the Nets are 7.
I don't know. I think I have the Nets at 7.
Bro, you guys are tripping, dude. Mikel,
I have the Nets truth. I think they have great role players, like I said. I think Nick Claxton is gonna be that like up there for Depoy. I think he'll be up there.
I mean, some have been saying he's the next coming of Dwight Howard. Sources inside the camp have been saying like very Dwight Howard like.
No, I don't think anyone said that. I think that's just you and no one else.
And I have the Raptors at 8. I just don't think they're going to take too big of a step. They haven't made much moves. Obviously, they're going to be developing. Scotty's good. Rest of the team's solid, but I think they'll be right on the borderline there.
Yeah. I have Brooklyn 7. I agree with you, Jake. I think as good as Mikal Bridges couldn't get, they don't have like Cam Johnson's your second best player. Cam Johnson's great, but he's like a glorified role player that's going to get 18 a game. They're going to win like they're going to be anywhere from 35
he's not the second best player. Dread-headed fucking Dwight Howard next to Nick Claxton is the second best player.
I don't think Nick Claxton can make a right hand, or I don't know what hand he is. He cannot make a weak-handed layup or a free throw.
Doesn't matter. He dumps it every time.
Oh God, he's gonna get Embiid when he's in foul trouble. We had 3 fouls in 5 minutes against Joel Embiid. I don't know what you're gonna say because the Nets are gonna be 7 seed. The fact that you have Joel Embiid behind the Nets is crazy.
I told you, locker room culture is just so poor with the 76ers.
No, they'll ship Harden out of there, and once they ship Harden out of there, they're gonna be back to an average team that's gonna get bounced in the second round. But my 8 seed is the Chicago Bulls. I mean, let's have some faith in our hometown team. I think Javon Carter is a great addition. I think Torrey Craig is a great addition, both veterans. I can't see Zach LaVine getting worse. I mean, Patrick Williams quite literally can't get any worse. He's terrible for a 4th pick. I cannot believe I don't think he takes more than 8 shots a game. That's unbelievable. You draft a guy,
He's
and then
scared to shoot the ball.
he never shoots the ball. So he's got to shoot the ball this year. I think Vooch is back. I think that was a great deal. $20 million a year for 3 years is very team friendly, and he's going to get you 18 and 11 a game. That's a great deal.
I got a question. Whose fucking bright idea was it to draft Patrick Williams?
Fuck it. I think
Was
this
that
is
Arturas?
I think it was
AK?
Arturas. And I mean,
Eddie's fucking draft.
No, it was-
On draft night, they showed his post-draft hype video was of him selling flowers. I knew this guy was a fraud day one.
how are you? The problem is you drafted guy number 4, it was like a 3 or a 4, and then you go sign DeMar DeRozan and Alonzo Ball. Good additions because we were winning games, but DeMar DeRozan takes 60% of Patrick Williams' shots. And DeMar DeRozan shoots from the mid-range, can't shoot a 3. It's not the right type of NBA.
It also doesn't help that P-Wall had no fucking experience coming into the league. Wasn't he a bench player? Or
Yeah, he was a 6 man. I mean, he just was NBA.
Yeah, like this guy has no experience coming into the NBA. Like he has experience obviously, but like
Not a lot.
getting volume and actually shooting the ball, he's fucking afraid to shoot the ball when he gets in the game. I can see the piss running down the side of his leg.
Yeah, and then you see him play against he gets one game where he's the main guy, he puts up 25. So he put up 34 against Minnesota 2 years ago, and he got more than 18 shots.
I just don't think he knows how to play with other players who are ball dominant.
Yeah, but in his defense, I mean, he's a rookie, or he was a second-year player when he had to learn how to play with 3 ball-dominant guys. It's not really the easiest thing in the world to do.
Well, I mean, when he had so much to learn going to the NBA that it's not surprising that he's still, I don't know, he's even developing anymore. He's trying to.
I think Kobe White probably actually has a higher ceiling this year, not in the future, but this year at least. Kobe White can be a 6 man of the year candidate because
Kobe White will be really solid.
Kobe White was. If you look at the end of last year, everything improved except for his shooting ability till after the All-Star break. But his ball handle, his defense, things that were keeping him off the court, he can be on the court for those things now. And now he can do things like score and shoot the ball, which is what he's actually good at. I think I'm not shocked if he averages 14 a game off the bench this year.
I think if Kobe has a big season, he's a very valuable trade asset.
True. I mean, I think
I was for moving him in trades for literally anyone because I fucking hated Kobe White. But he kind of warmed up to me at the end of the season.
Yeah, learn how to play basketball again.
Yeah, and he didn't have much value. At least this year he has value. I mean, 9. Let's go 9-10 now. I mean, the end of the East is just going to be between. I think it's Toronto, and then I think it's going to be Indiana or it's going to be Orlando. Because I like Paulo, I like Franz. If Anthony Black is good, if one of their guards, if it's Fultz, if it's Jalen Suggs, whoever it is, if one of them can be like a competent 15-7 guy, then they can make the playoffs. If not, I'll give it to Tyrese Halliburton, Miles Turner.
Anthony.
Huh? Oh, Cole Anthony. Yeah, he's the other one. He's more of just a scoring guard too. But
I don't love any of their guards.
I think they're going to get Buddy Hield out of Indiana soon, too. And then Tyrese, Bruce Brown, Miles Turner is a solid enough lineup. I don't even know who else is on that team, really. But they have a solid enough crew to get to – Ben Mathurin. He's going to be great this year.
Ben Mathurin's tough.
Yeah.
I think I have the Hawks at 8, and then I have the Pacers at 9, the Bulls at 10. I think I echo what you said about the Pacers. I think Miles Turner, Ben Mathurin, and Halliburton are easily a strong enough core to get them to the playoffs. And then the Bulls, they still have good players. They'll still win games with the guys that they got, but they have no positive upside. So I'll just leave them at a sorry ass 10th. And then the Raptors, I think, blow it up in the middle of the season. I think there's a lot of guys who play the same role. And I think losing Fred VanVleet's bigger to their team than a lot of people think. So I think they struggle this year. I think they take a step back and probably make some big moves at the trade deadline and just try to start a rebuild.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Siakam or OG gets moved.
Yeah. I have the Hawks at 9 and then the Bulls at 10. I think the Hawks will still sneak their way in. I fucking hate Trae Young, but I think they'll sneak their way in there. And then the Bulls at 10, I just put them in there for pity. Fucking, I think they're probably going to be. They might finish under 500 and still make it like 41 wins, 40 wins.
I would not be shocked if the Bulls are 6th seed and have like 44 wins. But
you're crazy.
Grimo, what do you think the 3-year plan for the Bulls is? Do you think?
Well,
what do you think best case scenario in 3 years is?
Like what I think the front office will do, or what I want to do.
What would you do?
I don't want to bring DeMar back after this year in his contract because I don't think unless he's willing to come back for like the mid-level exception, which is like 12 to 15 million dollars, unless he's willing to come back for that, I'm not trying to lock up 3 years, $30 million a year with a guy that's not going to shoot threes and is just getting older. So I want him to go. I'll keep Zach. I'll keep Patrick Williams next year because if Kobe White takes a step and Patrick Williams resembles anything of being useful, then he can. I think he'll thrive with DeMar being gone. So then you have Zach, Kobe White, Vooch, and I think you move Vooch not this year but next year at the deadline because $20 million deal is going to be nothing in 2 years. And Vooch is still a top 10 center, in my opinion. If you're going to give him 18-11, that's a crazy production from a guy that's only getting paid $20 million a year. And then after that, I mean, I don't really have a grasp on who the free agency class is, but I'm either trying to go get a star or I'm trading Zach LaVine if we're still not good for picks and drafting and doing a new rebuild. I think you got 2 years to figure it out, and if it's still bad or there's no clear sign forward, you rebuild.
I think we're
Yeah.
super fucked.
But the front office is going to re-sign tomorrow. The front office already said that in contract extension. So what I want to do isn't going to happen. But they want to go.
Who does DeMar DeRozan excite? Because not me, certainly.
I don't know. I think Bulls fans are caught up in the fact that we were winning games when DeMar was like going crazy that 2 years ago, but they didn't realize that DeMar was just hot. Last year he played the same way and was ass. He was terrible. I wanted him off the court every game. But I don't really know. I mean, this team is in shambles, probably in the top 3 worst positions in the league. Maybe like with the Hornets, and that's about it.
The thing is, nothing excites me. Like the team right now, like even if like we make some pieces and like add something, you're never beating the Bucks or the Celtics. You have no genuine chance of winning at all. Like to be honest, I would not be opposed to just blowing it all up and seeing how much draft capital we can get and see what we can do from there. So at least you get 1 or 2 good guys. You're an intriguing spot for free agents to go. I feel like there's not a big free agent that wants to join a core group of Vooch, Kobe White, and fucking Zach LaVine. I mean,
Well, that's why you got to develop them, though. You got to develop P. Will and Kobe. I mean, I understand. Like you drafted them, put some effort into them. You can't like just expect them in 2 years or 3 years, and not just fans, but the front office. Like they can't just give up on guys. You should give up on these older stars that you're paying $30 million. I don't care about DeMar DeRozan anymore. He's gonna be out of the league.
When's the point that you call it quits with trying to develop them? I mean, we've been waiting for Patrick Williams to break out for the last 3 years. Kobe White's shown one consistent half of the season.
He needs a fair shot. I mean, has Patrick Williams played 1 year where he is like this number 2 option? No.
You got to show earlier that you can be a number 2 option, though.
He was playing behind. He was great his rookie year. I think he showed that he would be.
Got minutes. He
was really good his rookie year. He was putting up for rookies. He was one of the better rookies. I think he made all rookie team, the second rookie team, and then the second year he got hurt early, missed almost all the season, and last year he has to play behind DeMar, Vooch, and Zach. I mean, it's not. He hasn't really got a chance to showcase any of his scoring ability. When he does play, when he gets 18, 20 shots a game, he's putting up like 25, 30, 22. Like he puts up good games. It's partly on him to get aggressive, but it's also partly on Billy Donovan to actually run the offense to get him shots. And Billy Donovan's a whole nother problem.
All right, fuck.
Let's go to the West. Yeah, because this we'll talk about the Bulls all day if we
Oh fuck.
West.
The West is more interesting because the West actually has competition, whereas the East is just 1 and 2. All right, let's do 1 and 2. LaBelle, you want to start?
Yeah, I got the Nuggets in 1 again, and then I have the Suns in 2. I think, yeah, you can make an argument for the Lakers, but I'll get that later. But I think the Suns, KD's gonna be as healthy as he's been in a decent amount of time going into the start of the season. I think he's gonna be phenomenal. Devin Booker, cold ass motherfucker. He's so tough. He's gonna be nice. Bradley Beal will get his. Excited to see what he can do in more of an off-ball role. I think he's gonna be pretty darn good. And then I like the moves that they made. I like getting Ayton out of there, getting a lot more role players. I think you don't really need much of Ayton's offensive game, especially with how much they can score the ball. So just having more role players who can defend well and take some of the load off on the defensive end for the stars that are going to put up all the bucks on the other end. So I think they're going to be tough. Nuggets, Jokic, best player in the world, and they're 1-2.
Yeah, I have Nuggets 1. I also have Suns 2. I think that I mean, the West is up for grabs, and which is why injury is going to determine a lot of this year for the West. But if roster for roster, I think Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world. He probably has one of the best rosters in the league around him. And then the Suns, I think Kevin Durant's actually going to play this year. Devin Booker always plays regular season for the most part. And if Bradley Beal can stay healthy, I think they made some sneaky moves in free agency. I think Eric Gordon's a great pickup. Watanabe is a great pickup. They have shooters. Nurkic is better fit for that team than Aiden is because he's not going to bitch and complain about only getting 8 shots a game. So I like the Suns a lot too. I think that they're going to be scary for sure.
I also have Nuggets 1 and Suns 2. I think obviously you have Jokic, so Nuggets are gonna be there. But I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think between the Nuggets and the Suns. I think Nurkic on that team, he could stretch the floor a little more than Ayton can. He's got a good inside game along with like his mid range, and he could shoot a couple threes here and there. They try to trick us on Prize Picks.
I don't know why he was shooting threes last year all of a sudden. I can't believe it was a prop on Prize Picks. It took the under to hit in the first, and he went over in the first 4 minutes of the game.
Wait, Nurkic shoots threes now?
He's been stepping out there. It's fucking ridiculous. But
no way.
Yeah.
And like that. Come on now.
like what you guys are saying, I don't think he'll fucking bitch like DeAndre Ayton will. So I think they'll be good. And like Greenwald said, with those bench moves, Watanabe is going to be good. Eric Gordon, solid shooter. He's always going to be good.
Grayson Allen too, great pickup in that trade.
Yeah, it's a great pickup.
I'm excited to watch the Suns. I think they'll be very, very fun to watch.
I think KD's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder this year.
He actually played like ass in the fucking playoffs.
And he's got all the chatter about him getting another super team, which he does. He gets the fucking Avengers lineup every year, but he's got to win with one of them for once.
Yeah.
3 and 4. I'll start real quick. I think I had the Lakers at 3. I hate LeBron James. I hate the fan base. But I think that he's going to be fine. And LeBron this year doesn't have to put up 27 a game because his roster is actually pretty solid. So
that boy's tough.
They have a deep roster. I think that they're going to be the 3 seed. I think Anthony Davis looks healthy. And if Anthony Davis is healthy, put him in the MVP conversation, put him in the deep point conversation. He's elite when he's healthy, but it depends if he's healthy. But I'll have him 3 and 4. I really like Memphis. I understand Ja's going to miss 25 games, but Marcus Smart is a great addition. Jaren Jackson Jr. is only going to get better. Desmond Bane, say what you want about him. He's 23 points a game. He can shoot the basketball. Lights out. They got rid of
Dylan. Top 10 role player in the league.
Steven Adams is there, and Derrick Rose now is there to back up John Morant, who was a perfect backup to tell John Morant not to do what he's fucking doing right now. So when Ja gets back, I think that team skyrockets. I think they're mid for the first 25 games, like probably 13 and 12. It depends how hard their schedule is. And then when Ja gets back, they really go on some win streaks. Probably gets the 4 seed.
I got the same. I think regular season, Lakers aren't in the conversation for. I think it's easily in regular season, Suns, Nuggets, top 2. But I think Lakers, sneaky picks make the finals. I think with the depth of that roster, they are literally like 10 or 12 deep. They have so many good role players. If AD stays healthy and LeBron is able to carry up he doesn't need to score 25 points a game. I mean, let him play off ball more, let him distribute, let him facilitate the offense. I think he goes for like 23, 8 and 8 this year. I think he's still a top 15 player in the league. I think they're going to be so good, and they could give the Nuggets or the Suns a run for their money in any playoff series.
Fair enough. You have Grizzlies 4 too?
Yeah.
It's
going to be good.
I have I've got the Lakers at 3. LeBron's greatest player of all time. Still take for that team, and then with the depth that they have, I think and I have the Kings in the 4. I think the Kings are going to be good. I love them. Light the beam. They were electric.
I have the Kings slipping. They were a lot of fun to bet on, but I have the Kings slipping this year.
I think I hate Sabonis. I don't think he's a great player, but he's gritty. He'll give you 42 minutes a game.
Yeah, he's pretty cheap.
48. Sure. But I love rooting for them in the playoffs, like when the Bulls don't fucking make it. So I have them in the 4.
Yeah. I can't believe you said LeBron James the greatest player of all time, but we'll argue about that another time. Uh I think at 5, I'm putting Dallas. I understand they looked terrible with Kyrie and Luca last year, but Kyrie and Luca are still a duo that can average 60 to 65 points together a game. And you add Grant Williams, who's a good defender, Rashawn Holmes, who's a solid center, Seth Curry, who's a great shooter, and Derek Jones Jr., who was on the Bulls last year, who was a great role player to that team. You give them actual help. I think that this is a 5 seed. I think Luca is going to be great as he always is. I think I agree with Tatum being up there, Jake, but I think Luca is going to be up there too for MVP this year, and Jokic. I think Embiid is going to fall out of that race for sure this year. And I don't think Giannis is allowed to get back in the race with Dame on his team.
Yeah. I have the Warriors at 5. I think they're still going to be good. They're going to be that mid-tier team in the West. 5 seed is good for them. Chris Paul, I don't really like that pickup at all. I think it's weird.
I don't know what's doing.
Doesn't really make sense.
I just don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't get it. But I saw him dunking though at practice, which is weird.
Yeah, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Draymond,
I have the Grizzlies. That's
you have Grizzlies 6.
6.
I mean, I see John missing.
Really? 6?
I have the Grizzlies.
John
at
missing
6.
games gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But if they can get past or get through John missing games, I don't see them having many issues past that. It's also because the West is so.
I think I put them at 6. Yeah, I put them at 6 because it's a tough division, and I feel like John might miss more games. I mean, it depends on how he acts. They're great. You know,
I've got
they could be up there
Mavs.
with like the 3 or 4 seed in the West.
Yeah. I mean, it just really comes down to who. It comes down to if Ja can behave and if what Marcus Smart does for that team, really. LeBeau, who do you have?
I got Mavericks 6 or Mavericks 5. I agree with you, Greenwald. They're gonna be cold. Luke and Kyrie, and then I have Warriors 6. I think Curry will still put up 28 a game. I think they're gonna be pretty tough still, and I think the Kings fall off a little bit. They'll probably be. I think I have them at 7. Just think. Not gonna say last season with fluke, but I don't think they're as good. I don't think they'll be as good this year as they were last year's. And I think if you don't take that step forward in the NBA, you fall down the rankings. So I got them at 7.
I have 7. I have the Warriors 6. 7. I have the Warriors. 8. I have the Clippers. I think that the Warriors are going to be good, but they're not going to be great because I don't think Chris Paul does anything for them. And I think that the Kings have fallen a bit because teams have figured them out. I don't think that De'Aaron Fox is going to come on the team and be a shocker this year, and neither is Malik Monk, and neither is Keegan Murray. So I think the team's going to be good, but I think with how competitive the West is, they're sitting at like 7.
I have the Mavs at 7. I feel like that Kyrie Luka combo is still kind of weird. I have to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that they will figure it out. They still score. They just can't defend.
Yeah, 8. I think they're gonna be a gritty team.
But your Wi-Fi is kind of cutting in and out.
That chapter, well, how's Wi-Fi's ass?
Oh, is
Yeah,
it?
that's Wi-Fi is bumming.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now. Who'd you say for 8?
I have OKC at 8.
I like OKC a lot.
I think they're going to take a step forward. I think Chet is going to be good. I believe he's going to be very good for that team.
I got T-Wolves in 8.
I got
That's crazy.
Really good.
I have T-Wolves in 10. I mean,
I don't even have them top 10.
I mean, they're not. Cat and Gobert aren't that good, but Anthony Edwards is still cold.
because I got the Clippers at 8 because I don't trust Kawhi or PG's health.
I got them at 9.
Yeah.
And then at 9, I have the Pelicans because if Zion Williamson can actually play 50 games for once, they're going to be in there. And then I have OKC also.
Zion's cooked. He's nice. His career's over.
You see him? He looks fucking massive when he came to camp this year. Not like fat, but like actually in shape for once.
Bro, yeah, he got cursed by Mariah Mills. She was like actually like sending curses out on Twitter. Like he's never averaging over 12 points a game again.
He's gonna have tear his ACL like we thought Bijan would, like first game of the season. Just come down, break it.
Game 13, ACL's going.
And then 10, I have OKC. I agree with you, Jake. I think Chet's going to be great. I just think the Western Conference is still too competitive. Maybe if Giddy is really good. Giddy was good last year, but if Giddy's really good, maybe they can get into like this 8-7 area. And then honestly, the rest of the West is super fun to watch still because you got the Blazers in the young core. You got Wembanyama.
I have
Who do you have?
I have the Clippers at 9. It's all really dependent on PG and Kawhi's health, and then I have the Pelicans at 10. I think as Zion plays, they'll sneak their way in there.
The Clippers and
they're
the
good.
Pelicans are both a team that if they're healthy, they could beat the 3 and 4 seed, and if they're not healthy, they'll be 9-10.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I have the Pelicans in 10, not because of Zion though, but because CJ McCollum's so tough.
BI is kind of tough too. He just can't play more than 40 games a year.
Yeah, he also can't play in the Olympics, I guess.
Yeah. LeBron kind of assembled a squad though.
Lit Avengers.
Steph, KD, and B confirmed today. Who else? Devin Booker said he's in, and then Jaylen Brown. We don't want you. You don't have to go. Dribble with your left.
I wish Embiid just went to fucking Cameroon, wherever the fuck he's from.
Yeah, I thought that would have made it more interesting. He could have done France and played with. I mean, I don't think anyone wants to play with Rudy Gobert, but at least that would have been like a better team.
Yeah, he could go play for France with Bilal Billy or whatever the fuck that guy's name is.
He's gonna be tough though. He's like,
no, he's not. No, he's not.
His like 6'10", like lengthy.
He's got a fucking like 17-7 wingspan. He's gonna be phenomenal.
The Wizards kind of got a nice rebuild going. But yeah, even the bad teams in the NBA this year are not going to be terrible. They're just not going to be.
I think the Pistons are a dark horse that could be decent.
A dark horse would be the worst team in the league. They got so many bums on their squad.
K's nice.
They got Marvin Bagley and James Wiseman. Bum asses.
They are kind of bummed. The Pistons are
got so many fucking bums on their squad.
Trying to hype up their big men, and the only good big men they have is Jalen Duren. The rest are kind of ass. Wiseman's shit. Fucking Bagley's bad. Isaiah Stewart just is a fucking football player on the field.
What
the fuck is Isaiah Stewart?
Isaiah Pacheco looks like Marvin Bagley running after LeBron when he runs.
What the fuck?
Yeah, bro. Isaiah Stewart's fucking insane. Never bet on his rebounds. He was just fucking under.
He's a high school national champion with Lalu, though. Never forget.
All right. Well, we went through all 10. Now that NBA season's back, we'll be making more. I'll be uploading these more consistently instead of taking 2-month hiatuses. But thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
I appreciate you letting me hop on, Green.
Of course.
Yeah. Thank you as well.
Yeah, see you guys.